Howdy, my name is Tara and I hope you're having a terrific day. And if you are not, I hope this video makes today just a little bit better. Please consider subscribing and liking if you enjoyed this video. You can also check me out live on Twitch found in the description. As we continue to wait for Tales of Crestoria to finally launch, I have gone ahead and prepared another top 5 SR list. Last time we analyzed the most notable SR characters, and this time around I wanted to do something a little bit more eccentric. Today we'll be discussing the characters known as Leia, Genis, Presea, Dezel, and Farah. I don't even know if I pronounced all of those names correctly. I probably didn't, but we're just gonna go with it. So yeah, these characters, like the previous SR characters analysis, may not be the most meta characters, but they are, like I've said before, the most eccentric SR characters. This will be my second and last top 5 SR analysis video, so let us get into it. Now on to the first odd one in our bunch, Leia. Leia is a Earth Element and Longstaff type unit. She is the one and only Longstaff type unit in the game. Lacking type matches can make it hard for some units to fit in compositions, yet Leia has quite the eccentric niche. She has 2 heals, one found in her passive skill and the other found in one of her arts. Her passive skill provides a 10% health heal to all allies on a successful break, and her cure art heals one ally by 45%. This makes her one of the few healers in the game that has 2 heals. Where her main potential can be seen is in her passive skill, also raising the overlimit gauge by 5 for Earth Element units whenever a health recovery takes place. I'm not really sure what healing effects actually count toward this passive skill, yet this kind of passive skill can actually provide build-around potential. We discovered in our SSR unit analysis series that units like Yuri essentially must have an overlimit boosting Memoria Stone. Otherwise, their functionality suffers. As future Earth Element SSR units are released, there is massive potential for a passive skill like Leia's. Next up is Genis. I hope I pronounced that right, but I'm not sure. Genis is a Water Element and Arts type unit. He is an extremely defensive support type of character who operates kind of opposite to someone like Norma, who is offensively orientated. His passive skill gives 15% defense up to all water element units, and his force field art gives a huge 40% defense up to one ally for 4 whole turns. If you remember back, Aegis was given one of the worst ratings in our SSR unit analysis series. However, Aegis, like Genis, is a water element unit who has the highest defense value in the game. Pairing Aegis and Genis together is sort of like a no-brainer because Genis can enable Aegis to get into astronomically high defense values. If any content is present in the game where a certain party slot will be more likely to become attacked, this combination between Aegis and Genis can become extremely deadly. Genis also even has further supportive capabilities, and his other art having a 70% chance to dispel an enemy unit. Alrighty, I'm excited for this next one. Presea is a Fire Element and Axe type unit. She is surprisingly the only Axe type unit that will be available at the release of Tales of Crestoria. Her passive skill gives an 8% up to all characters, and her passive skill also gives a 4% health restoration to fire element units when a break is achieved. Out of all of the SR characters, Presea is going to be the one that I want to bring attention to her stat distribution. She has the highest attack stat out of every SR character in the game. Her kit is built to further her offensive orientation too. Presea's finality punishment art gives her a 100% chance to increase her offensive power by 20% for 2 turns, and followed up by her punishing beast art having an attack ratio of 240%. This means during the first 2 turns, she can often put out similar or even more damage than some SSR units as a SR unit. Unfortunately though, being an Axe type is the only thing that is kind of holding her back, as there is no compositions that she fits eloquently in. Now for Dezel. Hopefully I pronounced that one right at least. Dezel is a wind element and arts type unit. Dezel has a passive which gives an 8% chance to reset art turn count for arts type units. And while his passive is quite noteworthy, I want to actually bring attention to something else in Dezel's kit. Dezel is one of the premier poison-orientated SR characters. When it comes to SSR units, there are actually none that have the capability of applying poison, and Dezel's Hellgate art provides a 50% chance to apply poison to all enemies for 3 turns. Poison applies a status effect which causes the afflicted to suffer damage every single turn, and this damage is speculated to be somewhere around 10% of the afflicted's max health every turn, but it is kind of unknown how this will function in raid content at this time. Hellgate, being on a 3 turn count, means he is able to consistently keep enemies under poison. And last on our Eccentric SR character analysis list is Farah. Farah is an earth element and martial artist type unit. She is another healer like Leia who has 2 heals in her kit. Her passive skill can heal by 30% to martial artist types whenever a break is achieved, and her healer art heals one ally by 35%. This makes her one of the best healers in a martial artist composition, as a 30% heal whenever a break is achieved is quite massive. Outside of her healing is her ability to apply Debilitated. The only SSR unit capable of applying Debilitated was that of Mila. Mila is, however, much better at applying Debilitated, as Farah's Debilitated art is on a 4 turn count. Debilitated applies a status effect which increases someone's damage received by 20%. While Farah isn't the best at applying Debilitated, it still adds on to her already strong healing kit with a bit more damage. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more Tales of Crestoria content. There is still one more part left coming in my SR characters mini-series, and this next one will be one you probably won't want to miss because I will be revealing the truth behind how SR characters exactly fit within Tales of Crestoria. If you want more discussion in the meantime, head over to my Discord or catch me sometime on Twitch, found in the description. Buh bye now, buh bye now, buh bye now, buh bye now.